Well, welcome back, Raider Nation. This is Raider Sparks coming at you with another episode of the Raider Roster Report. And yeah, I think we take some time here to go over the roster, kind of take a look at where our 90-man roster is right now, kind of going into rookie minicamp, talk a little bit about the draft and kind of where we see the roster at. But yeah, please like, share, subscribe. Trying to get the membership up and the clicks to likes, all those things up there to get some more content out for you guys. But I'm really having a good time doing it. I like talking Raider football. And more importantly, I like to read you guys' comments. Let me know what you guys think about the draft, those types of things. So I put a little YouTuber challenge out there about the draft. I didn't do very well. Predicting the draft is not anything that's easy, and we'll talk about that as we go through. I think I only had Amari Burney on there of everybody, but there's a lot of players that I had talked about already that were a fit for the Raiders and things like that. So next year I'm not going to try to predict the draft because it's impossible. I'm just going to go with the players that I like, the players that I see there are good fits for the Raiders to kind of bring you guys that kind of content, kind of what I'm seeing out there. And for the most part, usually it's pretty spot on. But yeah, trying to predict the draft, that was a whole different ballgame. I didn't do very well, or I wouldn't have done very well. Anyway, but yeah, let's just go through the different positions, and it'll kind of lead into some draft talk. But please definitely like, share with your buddies, subscribe to the channel. If you don't like it, even hit don't like or dislike, that's fine too. No worries there. But yeah, I kind of like the direction of the team. I'm starting to like the draft a little bit more than I did originally, and we'll kind of talk about that. But I think, at 9 draft picks, I think all of them are going to make the team. Believe it or not, I think we did well there. Last year we had 6 draft picks, and we'll see how many of those stick with the team. We'll kind of get into that a little bit as well tonight. But also some UDFAs the last couple of years, this year and last year, that have real good shots at making the team. I think this year especially too, some UDFAs that I think will definitely make the team. So anyways, let's take a look. So quarterback's pretty obvious. Last year we kept 2 on the roster, so this year I think we'll probably keep 3, because we drafted O'Connell. And so, Jimmy G, Hoyer, and O'Connell, and then Garber's on the practice squad if we choose to go that route, which probably will. We invested all the time last year in them, so having that 4th quarterback's not a bad thing, not going to kill your roster or anything like that. But O'Connell was definitely a guy that I talked about. I did a video of the top 6 quarterbacks, and I added a 7th one. It was O'Connell, about places to go and good fits. And so he was definitely on there for me. I didn't mock him to the Raiders. Probably should have. I just thought that we would wait even longer to get a quarterback than go in and get him in the 4th round. But they felt strongly enough about him, and I did too. I thought he was a good fit for what we were trying to do, the type of quarterback that we're looking for. So anyways, that's all cool. Receiver-wise, obviously Adams and Meyer going to be the 2 primary receivers, and then Trey Tucker. And I'll talk about that pick, Trey Tucker pick itself. So if we were going to go receiver, I was predicting or hoping that we would go either 4th round, which we almost did, right, and Charlie Jones, or I really like Trey Palmer somewhere around the 5th round, which is where he went. And I like those 2 guys for a couple of reasons. One, if we did get O'Connell, that I like the combination of getting their teammate from college. So getting Charlie Jones would have been great. He led the country last year in receptions, maybe in the last 2 years. And then kind of a shifty slot kind of guy. If we were going to go that route, I liked him. But I'm more like Trey Palmer, former LSU receiver who didn't do a whole lot at LSU, but still an LSU receiver that went to Nebraska. 6'1", he had a huge year. 6'1", ran 4.33 speed, very fast. And I just thought that's what this offense was missing, was that bigger receiver on the outside opposite Adams, having Myers in the slot type thing. And with that speed element as well. I thought that would have been a good combination. So when I follow this draft and Trey Tucker, when I follow his career, I'll be kind of checking out on those other guys too to see maybe what we potentially missed out at. But so that's 3 receivers. DeAndre Carter probably has a great shot to make it, and then Renfro, if that's the way we go. I really do think he's going to get traded, because not just because of the player or anything like that, but to pay a guy $11 million, how many opportunities is he going to get? Because we run 12 personnel a lot, and now that we've picked up Mayer and Meyer, right? So we picked up Mayer, who's not coming off the field, and our tight end room is pretty good, sort of in general, I guess. Hooper or Hopper, I guess Hooper, right? And then, so there's going to be a lot of 12 personnel, and Josh doesn't come off the field. So Adams and Myers aren't coming off the field. So how many opportunities are going to be for guys like Trey Tucker and for Renfrow and that type of thing? So, I mean, we brought in bigger receivers, which is why I thought we were going to target a bigger receiver, which is why I like Trey Palmer as much as I did. I even talked about getting Mingo and Cedric Tillman, but they had Jalen Hyatt, so they were looking for speed. So I wasn't far off with Trey Palmer. He's one of the fastest guys in the draft, but they would Trey Tucker. So I mean, we've got Sims. It's kind of that big receiver, and Lacey, that big receiver, but not really the speed element. We have other smaller guys, Dorsett, things like that, DJ Turner. But I really think Tyler Johnson has a good chance to make the team if we're going to move on from Renfrow. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be so confident in DeAndre Carter, but I just felt like what he did with the Chargers, and as productive as he is on the outside too, I just think he has a really good shot to make the team. But Tyler Johnson's no joke either. He had some solid years, and he was really good coming out of Minnesota. So I don't necessarily disagree that he will make the team, but I could see if the right fit came up with a speed big receiver came available, that maybe we would go out and get him. The cap is weird. Over the cap has us still with $16 million, and then Spot Track has us away at $7 million because of Jimmy G's contracts. I don't know which one's accurate, but it's a big difference. It's a big what we can do in the market as well. So we'll see with that. As far as running back goes, last year we kept 5 running backs and a fullback. I think this year we're going to keep 4 running backs and a fullback. So hopefully Jacobs gets his long-term deal. I'm hoping that happens, and then Zeus. And then other than that, I'm not confident about who the other 2 running backs would be. When I originally did this, Amir Abdullah for sure. But then getting Trey Tucker is a return guy. And then, Sincere McCormick might get the shot. Britton Brown we really like. Bolden, for some reason, we keep around. So those are sort of the guys that I've kind of had my eye on to make the roster. So I really think it's a huge camp battle. Obviously, Jacob Johnson will be our fullback, but I do think that there's going to be a huge battle for those couple of running back spots. So it's going to be really interesting to see. I think as Raider fans, we would want Britton Brown and McCormick to get the spots because those are the lesser expensive options not only this year, but going into next year, they would be signed. We would have a full slate of running backs even next year and years beyond that. So that would be the perfect scenario, but we'll see what happens with Abdullah. I mean, I like the player. It was just a matter of if it makes sense or not. As far as offensive line goes, I can see us only keeping 8 offensive line because some of you are so versatile. So, I mean, Colton Miller, which is interesting because I don't think there's too many Raiders players from the past regime that are totally safe on this roster. I mean, Max, yes. Hopefully Josh is, even though he's on the franchise tag, he better get a long-term deal. At least that's what I'm hoping for. And then Miller only because of his contract. I mean, if the rumors were true about the draft and we were seriously picking Paris Johnson, that tells you all you need to know about their fate because he's not going to, maybe for 1 year he's picked to play right tackle or right guard. After that, he's playing left tackle, so there's no guarantee this is even their guy. I think this year he's safe because of his contract, like I said, but other than that, I don't think any of the other Raiders that for past regimes or the Gruden and Mayock era are actually safe on this team. They brought in a lot of competition, which is kind of good. When I was doing this roster, I thought it'd be easy to kind of fill out a 53. It's not. There's some guys on there to cut. They're like, damn, I wish I wouldn't cut them. But anyway, so Miller, Illuminor, obviously, he's more of a Patriot than a Raider right now. So, but he's becoming a Raider, but he's from their regime, so they're down with him. And obviously, Mumford, we drafted him. They're not going to move on from him. And then we'll see if we add a 4th tackle or not. But the good thing is Mumford and Illuminor both play guard and tackle. And then obviously we have Heron, which we traded for last year, Murray, Parker, and then our new guy, which I really hope Wagner, I really hope he makes the team. That would really give us, he signed for 3 years as a UDFA, he signed for 3 years, so he'd be a lesser expensive option. And if he's able to go, that would give us a tackle possibly in the future too, if we did decide, hey, maybe Miller isn't it, or Illuminor's only on a 1 year deal. Maybe he could slide into right tackle, that type of thing. So that'll be interesting to see how many tackles we actually keep. And then at guard, obviously we have Parham, and then it's a huge battle to see who gets it. Bars and Meredith or a couple out there, but I really like Mute. McLendon Curtis is really good. He's going to make the team. And I have good faith. And then Vitaly Gurman is another one as well. But I have a lot of faith in McLendon Curtis to make the team. And not only make the team, but possibly as a starter as well. So, but just think about if we move Parham where he should be probably at center. We have Moody and McLendon Curtis at our guards. That's some powerful guards. So I don't really think, and McLendon Curtis could play tackle as well. I don't know if we keep 4 tackles or how many guards we kept. Last year we only kept 3 guards. So we'll kind of see how that all plays out. So I can see us maybe only keeping 8 linemen because we have a lot of versatility there. So we'll see to free up some spots. And then of course our tight end with Mayer and Hooper, and then it's wide open. Howard, who knows? Horsted, Fotheringham. There's another Shakirta, I forget his name. But I think we even signed another guy we invited him to rookie camp. There's probably be several at rookie camp, just who gets a spot. I think that 3rd spot, just because Mayer's such a good draft pick, he's a 3 down, every down tight end that I think that the 3rd tight end that we do keep will be mainly a special teamer guy. So that's the reason I'm not like O.J. Howard for sure, because I don't know how much special teams he does. So that's kind of the offense, kind of how I see it breaking down. Again, it was tough, to kind of place everybody. I can see definitely even bringing in a vet tight end, another one, possibly if some of these UDFAs or if O.J. Howard's just not working out. But I think they really like their offensive line, to be honest with you. There's some good players on this offensive line that I think will surprise some people. I think there'll be some surprise cuts as well to it, but I think in general it's a pretty solid offensive line. Then we go take a look at the defensive end spot. So we have Max Chandler and then our Tyree Wilson, which is awesome. I don't think Malcolm Kuntz, I think Jordan Willis makes it. I think we only keep 4 this year. Last year we kept 5. And you saw the UDFAs, they brought in 4. And they are really looking at guys that can play DN and outside linebacker, be able to sort of drop in coverage. And I had that in my draft as well. I was hoping we'd draft Abdullah, Land, or Hampton as sort of that role, play kind of a Sam role. And then obviously the Kyle Van Noy is still out there, who he would play this type of role. I think they're definitely looking for that guy. Like in the offseason, they brought in Van Ginkel. And then they had Drew Sanders at the top of their draft board. So with all of those things said, it really seems like they're looking for a player like that. And they have 4 defensive ends / outside linebackers on their in their rookie mini camp. And so I think they'll always go with 4 defensive ends, unless they find somebody that's really awesome, right? They put the 5th one on there. But you should keep these guys on the practice squad and bring them up when you need to, because let's face it, Max doesn't come off the field. Chandler is a huge investment. You don't want him off the field too much. And Tyree Wilson is the 7th overall pick. And then you have Jordan Wilson, sort of that veteran. I mean, there's not a lot of snaps to go around. I really don't think Malcolm Kuntz would be on the team. And then nose tackle, I mean, we kept 3 last year. This year it'd be interesting to see how many we keep. And this tackle, Ziegler said it best, the tackle room is wide open. So they've made much investment in the last 2 years, 15 picks, 4 D tackles, and then 1 D lineman with Tyree Wilson. So 5 picks on the D line, but 4 D tackles specifically. Not only that, but all the free agents, a bigger contract for them, Bilal Nichols last year. Tillery this year, a 2-year contract. Jenkins they brought in this year. Last year they brought in Billings. They brought in Adam Butler this year. They're trying very hard to get this room right. I think last year they kept 6 D tackles, 3 nose tackles, 3 D tackles. I think they might even keep 7 D tackles. We'll see. But Farrell Jr. probably make the team. I don't know. Jenkins, we'll see if he makes the team. But I do see Jaden Nesta making the team. He's a smaller bowling ball type nose tackle. I really liked at the Senior Bowl, and I liked his Miami tape. I didn't see it. For some reason, Arizona tape was out there as, I don't know, maybe they're playing a little differently, but he seemed a lot bigger in Miami. I don't know, maybe he lost weight or whatnot, but definitely plays a good one tech. Kind of a different type of one tech, kind of a quick get off, and he did well at the Senior Bowl, things like that. But then we look at the other tackles. Tillery will probably make the team. He's got the most solid contract, and after that, who knows? I mean, Byron Young is going to make the team. they definitely sent a message to Matthew Butler. I think Adam Butler makes the team as well. He was one of the first guys they signed, kind of like Andrew Billings last year. They signed him immediately after the season, so I see him making the team. And then it just depends on how many we keep, what the numbers look like. I mean, ultimately, if we can move on from Bilal Nichols, I mean, he's not a $6 million tackle. We didn't get $6 million of production out of him last year, so we could save $3 million if we move on from him this year, which, you know, right now he's projected as a starter, but hopefully these guys can take a jump from last year, like the Matthew Butler. So Matthew Butler, Adam Butler, Byron Young, and Bilal Nichols are almost all the same player. They're almost all the same height, the same length, same weight. They're almost all the same. Byron Young I didn't have on my list because I thought there were some other versatile tackles that I thought we were going to get in the draft. Plus, I didn't like my own what I saw from him at the Senior Bowl. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Leatherwood, like solid. You know, obviously Alabama's got all the physical traits that we look for, had all the measurables, all of those things were there. But then the Senior Bowl was just getting whooped. Well, Byron Young really didn't win many one-on-one reps, and I was like, kind of puzzled by that. I'm like. And then to pick him in the third round, I know why we picked him because he gives us versatility. Like we only keep 4 defensive ends, like Bilal Nichols, Byron Young, Matthew Butler, Adam Butler. All these guys are 3-4 defensive ends or 4-3 defensive tackles. They can all do the same. So if we're really looking to put that Sam linebacker out there, kind of go to a 3-4 look, we have the tackles to do it. We have the tackles to play D-end. That's why I don't think we need 5 defensive ends necessarily. But it's going to be very interesting. It's a numbers game. How many we keep, how many we let go, kind of how it all plays out. I can even see us going out and signing another veteran, depending on what Jenkins, how he looks in practice as another nose tackle. You know, because we don't know about Neil Farrell. He didn't do much last year. You know, so we'll see. But it's definitely a work in progress. I thought it was an interesting pick, Byron Young. I can only report to you guys what I see, and you know, I understand what he did at Alabama. It was all great, but when he was. Lights were just on him, right? Not on the program, not on the collective. He didn't shine in the one-on-one drills, and so it was a little concerning to me because I remember what Leatherwood did, all the hype with him and the measurables and the pro day and all that stuff. Well, if you go back and watch the one-on-ones that he had, it was terrible, and it proved out not to be very good. So hopefully not the same fate for Byron Young. I think it won't be. I think he'll be really good, really solid, but I think we're going to have a big rotation. I think that's the idea and the plan for that. And so, you know, linebackers going to be interesting. Spillane, I think Bernie makes the team. He's the one guy that I say, yeah, I think probably a guy that we might draft. And Polamalu sounds like he's going to be a linebacker as well. And then Drake Thomas, I think, is going to make our team as well. And last year we kept 5, so that means Diablo, Masterson, and Butler are all going to battle out, I think, for a final spot. That is unless we go out and get a veteran like Van Noy, something like that. Or gosh, if we get Devin White, it would be fantastic. You know, Ziegler made a comment. You know, we don't play man-to-man with our linebackers. So all the concerns that people have with Devin White about playing man-to-man and can't cover, he can drop in a zone. I mean, short zones or whatever. He can close space, so if that's really the way we're using our linebackers and not using them in man-to-man, then we need to go get Devin White. We need that dog in the middle that when our road game's happening, when things are going sideways, he can command the huddle, get attention, get people where they need to get to, and have Spillane with him, because Spillane is a good linebacker. Then all of a sudden, because we're going to mainly run a 4-2-5, right? So 2 linebackers. If those are our 2 linebackers. I feel pretty good about that. You know, if not, we're going to have struggle. I mean, Bernie, it could be good. Drake Thomas is a good linebacker. I actually like from NC State. I watched him because I was watching mainly Isaiah Moore, who the Chiefs got. I thought he was better in coverage linebacker. They ran him. He would run down the seam with guys, things like that. He's a little about the same size, but Drake Thomas actually rushes the passer a little bit better, which I think is kind of what we're looking for. So if we are looking for that Sam linebacker type, he possibly could fill that role as well. Because I believe he had like 8 sacks last year, so he's a guy that could kind of do that as well. So I really like, I like a lot of our UDFAs. So we'll kind of see how some of these other guys respond. Like I said, the guys that were previous Gruden Mayock guys, it's going to be tough for them to make this team that's not Colin Max and Josh. So and probably Colton as well. So. And Colton definitely will make it because of his contract. So that's kind of the way our linebackers look. Cornerback, I had Bennett was our draft pick as a top 5 guys for us. You know, I really liked Obviously, Witherspoon, y'all know that. Forbes, Turner, and him, and Blackman. Those are the 5 guys that I really liked for us. I just thought we were going to pick a cornerback earlier than, so I just kind of put on my mock draft like Turner, Forbes, and Witherspoon, because I really thought in the first 3 picks we'd get him. I didn't think Jacorian would go so far as he did, which I'm glad he did, because I think he's fantastic. It's going to be a really good pickup for us, a good draft. But obviously the Raiders didn't prioritize cornerback as high, and maybe not, because that Mayer pick was kind of a surprise. That second round pick may have been a cornerback had he not been there. So it's kind of a little tricky to actually know that how high, but being able to come away with the draft with Jacorian Bennett was awesome. I thought it was a great pick. But yeah, Duke Shelley, Long, they like those guys. And then I really wanted a longer, taller cornerback, but Faison is that guy. That's the reason they went and got him. They didn't draft one. I really was predicting us to kind of attack that. So that's 3, and then Bennett is 4. And so that 5th spot, it's going to be tough. Hall did enough last year. Oh, and then Nate Hobbs. So that's 5. I mean, we might keep 7 corners. And this is a good problem to have. We've got 2 more cornerbacks, Hall and Webb, that did enough last year that I think probably earned spots on the roster, but we got guys that we brought in are really good too. So it's going to be interesting to see how many cornerbacks we keep. If we could thin out some other positions, like keep 8 linemen, ideally we'd keep 2 quarterbacks. That's not going to happen. We'll probably keep 3. But what I'm saying is that we thinned it out a little bit, kept the 8 linemen, cut down maybe only 2 nose tackles instead of 3, linebacker wise, maybe keep 4 instead of 5, and keep those extra DBs, since we'll probably run mainly a 4-2-5. We're going to need a lot of DBs, because I think Webb and Hall definitely earned it. I don't think Amico is going to make the team, and some of the other guys that we brought in probably not as easy, practice squad guys, that type of thing. But it's going to be interesting to see who actually finalizes it, who actually makes it onto the roster. And then safety-wise, Epps, Morgan, who knows? Because Smith, everybody's saying he's going to be a starter, and I don't doubt it. So when I looked at Smith, I see him as a true free safety, as I think his best fit in the NFL. And I kind of thought that we're going to go more neutral safeties, be able to go ping-pong back and forth and do all this stuff. But maybe we are going to go to a true center field or free safety. And if we are, I think it's a great pick. If we're not, we'll see how he does in the box, because I'm not convinced that's his game. And I didn't like some things about him at Georgia, but some other things are good. I thought on the back end, he had very good instincts. Even though the top end speed's not there, his instincts overcame all of it. And he does read very well, come up and hit and make the tackles in that space. So I thought that was really good. So maybe we are going to go to a free safety look, and if so, that's a great pickup. And Epps, Johnson we picked up, Grant as a UDFA, and Mooring. I still think we're going to bring in Harmon as a vet. Like I said, with bringing in like a guy like Devin White at linebacker, we need that dog. We need that guy in the back end in this DB room that when we're on the road can gather the guys up and know what's going on, make a play when he needs to, but more importantly, get our guys that confidence to make those plays in the back end. So I kind of think Harmon might come in, but the safety position will be interesting. Like I said, I moved Palomalo, I think that's how you say his name, up to linebacker, which all the reports I'm reading are is that's what's going to happen. But if he stays at safety, then that's a whole different deal, whole different dynamic when it comes to putting this 53-man together. But anyways, I like the direction of the Raiders, where we're going. We don't need a lot of help, I don't think, on offense. We could use a speed big receiver, I think, would be a nice add for us, even though there's not a lot to go around. I think that's one piece that maybe we're missing. Other than that, I'm cool with the offensive line, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people aren't. I think our offensive line is pretty solid. In fact, we might even make a couple tough cuts or whatever. But if we brought in another guy, another veteran, another Pro Bowler, because we do apparently have some money, I would be fine with it, obviously. But I do think that we have some pieces there that are looking pretty good. Our defense, though, I mean, we still need a veteran as a linebacker. We need a guy that can command the huddle and do all those things. I know they think Blaine is that guy, but we'll see. It's unproven. And I do think we need someone in the back end like a Duron Harmon to kind of solidify that group. D tackles and D line, I don't think we're going to do much with from here on out. If anything, get maybe a nose tackle type guy. Other than that, I mean, the investment's been made. It's up to those guys to start playing. Because, like I said, all those draft picks, five of the 15 draft picks have been on the D line, specifically 4 of them on the D tackle. All of our resources in free agency, so much of it's went to our D tackle spot. And I think they like the cornerback spot. Like I said, even if they only keep 5 cornerbacks, they're going to have to make some tough choices, some tough cuts to that cornerback room. There's some guys on there played, I thought, pretty well last year that I wouldn't necessarily want to give up on the young, talented players. And so those would be some tough cuts possibly to make. Our safety room could, I think, still use some improvement. And I'm not sold on some of these guys. Like Mooring, not sold on him as actually making the team. Maybe a possible trade candidate. Renfro, possible trade candidate. Andre James, possible trade candidate. Devon Diablo, possible trade candidate. And those types of guys. So Meek Robertson maybe even has some trade value as well. So we'll see how it goes. Mini camp starts on the 12th. I think after the mini camp, if they're going to sign somebody, that would be a possible time to do it, or if not, June 1st with trades and things like that. But yeah, they might want to see what they have there in their mini camp, the rookie mini camp. And then if those guys that I talked about, the UDFAs on the offensive line aren't panning out, then maybe they go get another guy. If the tight ends aren't panning out, maybe they go add a vet to add some more depth to the roster. That type of thing. So we'll see how the rookie mini camp goes, and we'll kind of know, especially the linebacker room as well, what we're going to do from there. But anyways, please like, share, subscribe to the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll get another one out. Maybe wait till after the rookie mini camp, just kind of see, unless any big news comes up. We'll kind of get some news out of the Raider mini camp, rookie mini camp, and we'll kind of go from there. But yeah, please like, share, subscribe to the video if you haven't already done so. And definitely add your comments. Love to hear what you guys think of the draft, how you see the roster shaping out for the Raiders. If you have any guys, surprise cuts that you guys might be able to think of, or surprise trades, things like that you like, or some rumors that you heard that you like, let me know. We'll start a conversation. So anyways, this is Raider Sparks. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.